Final event at Happy Valley on Wednesday night. 1650 is the trip. It's another Class 3 contest headed by Marzouk, who'll jump from barrier 2 for Joe Moreira. Won her over the 1600 metres at Chartin last season. Vincey gets the blinkers on Happy Valley for the first time. Barrier 1 for him. Arcada course and distance winner 2 starts back, as was Lucky Girl. Merry Go Win as a 2-time winner here, course and distance. Perfect Pair goes up in class. On a hat-trick, Happy Valley for the first time for him as well. Vigor Fame yet to win in 11, a roll forward from barrier 10. Villafion close to a class drop, yet to win in 9 starts. Matthew Chadwick again, wide gate there, barrier number 11. Lucky Girl, who's rolled forward in the past, has come up at barrier 5, has been up at Chung Fry and back in the last month. Now we've made our way across the touchscreen to have a look at the speed map and a couple of key races here for our final event. And Vigor Fame, as I said, from a wide gate, is going to have to get rolling and try and find the front and the rail, Brett. He is, yep. And if he takes as long as you've got him going rolling there, it's going to be hard work coming across. Now, the option, I think, for Perfect Pair, who comes to the Valley for the first time, potentially might be to try and go across with him. Now, if that takes place, I think potentially you might go from good to slow to more good. Vincey's going to kick up. I would have thought Marzouk will want to try and be some sort of forward position, maybe in the first half. These two may switch around, maybe. Carter ends up there, maybe Merry Go Win ends up there. Lucky Girl takes a while to muster. These other ones back here, Amazing Satchmo, he could potentially try and be in front of God of Dragon too, who's come up a very short price favourite. So a bit of shuffling going on. I think potentially that it's more maybe on the good side running through the first bin. Yeah, God of Dragon, money back a place at this stage, Paul. Yeah, he's come up really short, isn't he? He's got a new trainer course now. This is Vincey. Now he's got blinkers on for the first time, and he comes to Happy Valley for the first time under race day conditions. Barrier number 1 for him, Zach Purton aboard. Should get a nice run, and he's looked good in his starts so far. Here has Vincey, so he goes nicely. Merry Go Win now, he's been going very unlucky horse at his last start. Merry Go Win, he was wide all the way, but he's come out of that race with no problems. He looks very good, and Victor Wong would have learnt a lot from that particular ride, so he travels nicely. Does very good. And
You're talking him up, Paul.
Yeah, I like him actually. God of Dragon is the next one. He's going nice as well. Look, he's come up really short, 2.5. Be interesting to see what he does end up starting. But the hood will go on him. The tongue tie will go on him for the first time. And now with Tony Cruz. There's a reason Paul's talking up Merry Go Win, which will become evident later on. He has got a wide gate once more, barrier 9. It's not completely straightforward from there. Let's start off our search here with Vincey. Vincey here in the red and white jackets further back. This is over the 1,800 metres for Vincey, so it takes the drop-in trip. Yeah, we're going on the last start on the all-weather. Prior to that, he ran some nice races behind Good Omen, Tianchi Monster on the turf. He does venture to the Valley for the first time, Blinker's first time as well. I think a few of us thought he might have won a race by now. It hasn't happened, but, you know, these horses that arrive from overseas, they do take some time to really fully find their feet and feel comfortable. I think, again, it's just a matter of time with him, and from the good barrier, I'm going to put him in the tips. I'll tip against him to win, but he goes in. Yeah, I've got him in there as well. Just Valley first time under lights, but the blinkers on, I think, is a positive, and hopefully he can focus. He should get a really good run from 1 anyway. Yeah, he should do. I think he had form on the all-weather at Dundalk Island, Vincey, before. He's definitely... Actually, no, I think his wins came in on the turf, actually, now I think about it. So the switchback shouldn't be an issue for him at all. Certainly not for Arcada, who's won here in the past. There's another horse formerly trained in Ivan. Joseph O'Brien trained Arcada previously. Here, along with All You Know, who generally gets back but finishes off very strongly. Again, look, Arcada's a little bit like Vincey to some extent, except he's a bit further advanced. Arcada's now had 12 starts and he got his win 2 starts ago. Vincey's had 6, so it just highlights how long they do take to really find their best form. We know he had very solid form before coming, Paul, and you've always been a bit of a fan. Yeah, I have. Yeah, I've got him in the numbers once again here. I think he can run well, and that was his win, and he did win nicely. He's and the new jockey, of course, on him, Aldo. I think by the time we get to the last 2, he would have had a few rides around the track, Aldo, so he'll be becoming a little bit more familiar with the situation. Yeah, those CP Power and Prance Dragon will give him a good lead into that final event. This is Perfect Pair. Nothing wrong with Perfect Pair's last 2 starts, coming out on top, but up in class, wide gates and Happy Valley for the first time. Yeah, it's probably a cross in that situation, isn't it? Up in class, Valley first time, and you've got a wide barrier, but he's won his last 2. He looks a nice enough type going forward by Darcy Brahma. I think as we looked in that speed map, they'll probably take the option to roll forward from 12,
try and get outside the lead, because he does look sort of like a horse that'll just keep staying on. And if that's the case, I think it's probably better, rather than sitting back and facing traffic, not being able to really see where you're going as well. So I think they'll roll forward, but I didn't really find a spot for him in the end. I shopped elsewhere.
Yeah, those 3 horses that ran close around them, they all ran on the weekend. They ran OK, Happy Alumni, and the other one, Victory Power, they ran OK.
All right, Got a Dragon, the last one we're going to have a look at. Bit of excuse last time out, got blocked, got going, ran on strongly. This is the trial. Yeah,
he's a pretty good track worker normally, God of Dragon. I know he hasn't won from his 16 starts. He's had a couple of seconds. He's now with Tony Cruz, previously with David Ferraris. Barrier 3, he'll get the opportunity, but look, I wouldn't want to take a really short price about him, and he's come up pretty short at the moment.
Yeah, I'm with Paul. I mean, he's had 2 trials since his last start, where he did run second behind Kazi Farazi, a horse that's obviously taken a long time to settle in and find his best form, but he's too skinny for me at that price.
250 money backs. What do you say, Paul?
Yeah, look, I'm going to go with a horse we haven't really talked about, is Merigo Win. We did see his track work there. You forget his last start, he was wide the whole way. But prior to that, he's been in really good form. We'll win it 3 starts ago, and he's backed it up coming into class 3 with 2 really good placings. So Victor Wong would have learnt a lot from that ride last time, I think. Vincey's the one to beat. Carter's been going well. And amazing Satchmo. I was a little bit disappointed with his run last time behind Rickfield, but prior to that, he'd been running really well. He'll be one at odds. 7, 2, 3, 5.
I think Carter probably gets a nice run in the race, and he can get Aldo on his way, I think, if he hasn't already won one earlier on. So 3 on top of 1. Marzouk, who's an interesting runner. That second behind Tianchi Monster reads well. Vincey, so heading towards the top of the page. My little value runner is Jolly Honour. He's had 5 starts. He hasn't done a great deal so far, but he's getting closer to the winner each race. So I think potentially he could sneak in there. I sort of cheated a little bit there, haven't I? Put an extra one in there on my trio, going really, really wide, and I obviously didn't get Got a Dragon in there, so I probably should have gone one wider by the looks of the market, but I didn't.
All right, I thought Vincey would be a fair bit shorter price than that, but yeah, Merigo Win each way for me. I don't think you would take too short a price about him. Not sure we've got time for the stats. We just go straight.
Paul's tending to think he might be a little bit single-figured.
Yeah, that's why I just put him winning that thing there. But
what is the stat for?
Yeah, decent price. So, look, Victor Wong, great form at the moment at Happy Valley. He's had 6 wins from his 25 rides, a second and a third, 2 thirds, so 24% win rate. And Merigo Win in the last, obviously the one he would have learned a lot from the last start. And I think Paul O'Sullivan's stable's in great form.
All right, best bets, Paul, what do you like?
I'm going to go with this horse here, Endearing. I thought it was a really good win last time, and Chad Schofield's riding really well at the moment, and I think he can go on with it. And I'm going to stick with Chad as well as my long shot with Magnetism. So they're the 2 I like. And the Quinella Place in race 6, 1, 6 and 9.
For me, Master Albert each way, race 3, number 4 for Grant Van Neerkerk, and Martin Harley on my long shot, race 2, number 4, Lotus Breeze back in trip. Good for you, Happy Warrior. Ishvara in race 4 is my QQP play. Yeah,
Martin Harley got my long shot home last week. Perfect glory for me. I got Neil having a big night, and Merigo Win. This is the reason Paul's talking up Merigo. And as we stand here right now, he's 16 and 2.5. Blitzing, Perfect Glory and Confucius Day QQP for me. All right,
Paul's tipping he's going to trim up a little.
Well, but look at my long shot last time we were standing here was 14. He started at 4.5.
Cost you 100 too.
I know.
There you go. All right, Group 3 action on the weekend at Sha-Tin, but that's the show. Thanks for watching me. Paul, Brett and the rest of the team. Hopefully see you at Happy Valley. We will be racing to win.
Good night.